Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for all your support. But today we're going to be talking about a Sig P320 Wilson Combat subcompact pistol here. Let's get it, dude. All right, so first off, I want to talk to y'all about where the firearm actually came from, and it's going to come from a website called AB Prototype. And they are actually out of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. You can buy complete firearms from them. You can buy SIG completion parts. You can buy fire control units. You can just buy whatever you want. So go check them out, see what they're all about. So I just want to talk about SIG very quickly, that they have what's called a fire control unit. And this fire control unit can drop down in subcompact, compact, or full-size firearms. And this is actually going to be the serialized portion. Now, why that's awesome is because generally with every other firearm lower that you have for in the pistols is they are going to be serialized at the polymer portion. So you can actually take all of this out, the trigger assembly, the firing block, all of this, the polymer portion is still the firearm. Now with these SIGs, again, this whole fire control unit can pop out, and this is the actual serialized portion, which makes it a really awesome platform. Now let's talk about how much this fire control unit costs from AB Prototype. If you get on their website, this fire control unit is going to cost you about $300, $299, so let's just call it $300. You can purchase one of these, and then from the drop-down menu, you can actually pick up different slides, different frames, different accessories, and basically get this firearm right here. So let's just kind of talk about some of the things that are really awesome about this particular SIG. Pick up the fire control unit from AB Prototype, hit the drop down menu, and you are actually able to pick your frame. So this here is a Wilson Combat. That is their subcompact variant. It's got really nice texturing on the side. Reminds me of like a stipple pattern that's like kind of starburst. On the back strap, it's very M&P-like, which is awesome. You're gonna get your takedown lever with the fire control unit. You're gonna get your slide stop, slide release with the fire control unit, and pick which trigger you want. So this trigger right here is the skeletonized SIG trigger. All these products are SIG based, Wilson Combat put their spin on the SIG lower here. Now real quick, let's talk about the upper here that you can pick in another drop down menu. This is gonna be called the SIG Pro Cut 3.6 inch barrel subcompact slide. Now let's talk about some of the features on here. You're gonna get a optics cut right out of the box. With this optics cut, you can run a Delta Point or a SIG Romeo 1, or you can go ahead and get adapter plates to run RMR, any Holosun optics. That pretty much takes care of a lot of the optics on the market or what you potentially would want to put on this. Moving on from there, you get some really nice serrations in the back, which come on almost every standard slide. You get some serrations on the front. You get window cut, window cut, window cut. Looks pretty awesome. Iron sights here, you're gonna get tritium rear, tritium front with a high-vis green dot. These are not suppressor height sights, so if you go ahead and run an optic on here, what you're gonna wanna do is probably swap these sights out for a suppressor height sight so you can actually co-witness through the optic just in case the optic battery goes down. Some of the things you're gonna get with this package is you are gonna get your guide rod and guide rod spring. You're gonna get your barrel depending on which size you actually get. This is a 3.6 subcompact barrel. You're gonna get the striker, the back plate, and all of the internals to make this slide work correctly. Now let's talk about how much this firearm costs. Like I mentioned previously, if you get on AB Prototype's website, the fire control unit is gonna cost you about $300. From those drop down menus, you can actually pick what slides you want and what frame you want. So with this whole total setup here with my Wilson Combat lower and my SIG slide on top, you're looking at $826 for this firearm, which I think is a really awesome deal. I really like this. I don't think there's anything that I would do differently on this firearm besides putting an optic on here and a light, and I am good to go, and some suppressor height sights. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is if you actually buy this from the drop-down menu from the fire control unit, you're not gonna get any magazines. This gun right here is going to actually accept 15 round magazines. I know magazines aren't cheap, so you gonna have to buy 3 more of these, so $829 plus 3 magazines or 2 magazines or whatever you want. Now real quick, let's talk about how much a Sig X Compact cost, and that's going to be their baseline with no window cuts. It's going to have an optic cut on top. It's going to have a very basic texture pattern here, and that's going to cost you around 600 bucks. So this is about 200 and some odd dollars more expensive than the standard Sig X Compact. Like I said before, I think this gun is worth it. I would much rather have this. It's almost like purchasing a car from the factory and ordering it exactly how you want it, or you just purchase a less expensive or a less decked out car and you just have to do everything to it afterwards. This firearm right here has everything that I would want and hopefully that you would want. So go check out AB Prototype. If y'all like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all. Peace.